Andrew Lopez, Jeff Duncan here after LSU's come from behind 22 to 21
What was
victory.
the score? I can't remember.
I don't even look. It's up there on the scoreboard still. I'm surprised they haven't cleared that yet.
Yeah,
we are at Jordan-Hare. LSU starts fast. They jump out to a 10-0 lead. Then Auburn scores 21 straight, and then LSU comes back. Just kind of try to help me wrap my mind around how this game went.
Well, this is the kind of game we've seen LSU lose so many times. Yeah. It's got to be one of the biggest wins the program's had in a number of years. I'm trying to wrap my head around when's the last time they went on the road and beat a top 10 team. This team had won 13 consecutive games in this stadium, 9 in a row by double digits, including number 2 Georgia last year, number 1 Alabama last year. And they came in here and pushed them to the limit and then finished it off. And they couldn't have executed really any better down the stretch. They converted a number of big plays on offense, and they got the stops on defense. It was a big-time win.
This Auburn team was ranked 7th in the country. LSU was ranked 12th in the country, and this was still a 10.5-point game in Las Vegas. And it just shows you LSU comes back. Did you think at all it was gonna start to kind of slip away from this LSU team? Auburn comes out early in the third quarter, goes up 21 to 10. It seemed like things were starting to slip away from LSU at that point.
No doubt about it. It seemed like they gathered the momentum, weathered the early storm by LSU, and really were starting to dominate both lines of scrimmage, I thought. And then the momentum flipped over there late in the game, right about midway through the third quarter. You could kind of sense it in the crowd, and I think LSU sensed it on their sideline, and you could sense their confidence. And I thought just the way they executed, Joe Burrow, you know, we've written a lot about him, big-time quarterback coming in here from Ohio State, but no one really knew how he would react in this kind of environment. He hasn't played in this kind of environment ever in his life, and he couldn't have played any better. He executed some big-time throws on the game-winning drive that set up Cole Tracy's 41-yard field goal. And what can you say about that kid? Transfers in from Assumption College and hits the biggest field goal of his life.
He did say that the vice president of Assumption texted him this week and said that there had been about $500 of donations to Assumption from LSU fans. I'm not positive. Pretty sure that number is going to go up after this week.
That's a safe prediction, no doubt about it. I'm surprised we haven't already heard about more donations.
We should check in on Monday and see what happens.
But I mean, he was cool as a cucumber, and so was Joe Burrow, for that matter, in this environment, and it was withering heat for most of the day. I thought LSU was a stronger, more physical team in the fourth quarter. That's a tribute to their conditioning. They didn't do a lot of substitution on defense. They did enough, but they finished this game off, and now it's amazing where they're at. They're 3-0. They've got 3 winnable games coming up. They don't want to get too far ahead of themselves, but I don't think anybody in the country, I certainly didn't think this team would be 3-0 after 3 games.
No, you're 3-0 at this point with 2 wins over top 10 teams, and neither one of them came at Tiger Stadium. You beat number 8 Miami in Dallas. You beat number 7 Auburn here at Jordan-Hare. You have La Tech coming up next, and then Ole Miss, then Florida, then you get into the Georgia part of your schedule, Georgia, Mississippi State, Alabama. But you're right. I don't think anybody thought this team would be 3-0. I wrote, you know, on the site yesterday about would this game finally get people off of Orgeron's back?
Yes.
And you have to think it would at this point, because I mean, what more do you want from him? Obviously, you're an LSU fan. You want him to beat Bama, but there's another team you'd rather want him to beat, and that's Auburn. And you got that win this week, and everything could play out for a potentially strong season.
I thought this team, including its head coach, played with a chip on its shoulder down here. I think they feel like they've been doubted, and rightfully so. A lot of people around the country have not believed in this team. They're certainly believing in them now, and I think every time this team wins a game like this, they gain confidence. It's a very dangerous team right now. They've got Georgia and Alabama in Tiger Stadium. They're going to be a factor in the SEC race one way or the other.
And they've certainly made it known tonight. Again, a 22-21 victory off of Cole Tracy's 41-yard field goal as time expired. Guess we got to get upstairs and write some stories. He's Jeff Duncan. I'm Andrew Lopez. Thanks for watching.